Hi, I'm Jeffrey Jimenez from the Jimenez team at eXp Realty, and I'm your real estate agent for life. And we're going to go through today how to buy a house in 12 steps. So let's start out first. The first step that you need to do is you need to go and you need to find yourself a trusted, smart, intelligent, well-versed realtor in your market, or just give Gus a call. So once you have this real estate agent, they're going to be able to walk you through and navigate you through these 12 steps in this process. By doing that, they're also going to help you with your pre-approval. They're going to help you find out exactly what your plan's going to be, and then walk you through step by step, holding your hand every step of the way until you're ready to go and close on your new home. So that brings us right into our second step. So once you've located this real estate agent, he's going to have, or she is going to have, a team of recommendations for you to use, such as a mortgage banker or broker, a loan officer, someone that's going to be able to find you the best products. Products meaning best mortgage products, because there's more than one. Everybody thinks sometimes that you just need 20% and that's it. Well, guess what? There's a ton of different options out there for you, from state-ran mortgage agencies to federal-ran mortgage agencies, to be able to help you get pre-approved with the best product that's out there for your situation. There is actually, believe it or not, some free money out there for you first-time home buyers. So this pre-approval step is the most important part of your home buying process, because this is where all of your financing and all of your purchasing power comes from. But we also have to make sure that we respect your monthly payment. So that's a big key too. It's not only about how much house to buy, it's about what your monthly payment should look like. Meaning that we don't want to go and buy a $500,000 house with a $3,000 a month payment when you're really only comfortable around $1,800 to $2,000. That would be devastating. You'll be calling us very quickly to come and sell your house again. One of the worst phone calls we'll ever get. I haven't had one yet and don't ever plan on having one. So once we get into that pre-approval, you will be ready, and you'll be ready to go to your next step. Your next step is, of course, the funnest part of this all, at least for me, is going out and going shopping. I love it. I just am a shopper. It's my thing. I love to go shopping. I love to find new clothes. I love to find new houses. And of course, I'm a car guy. I love to go car shopping. But when it comes down to shopping for your house, there's some key things that we need to go over. We need to make sure that we have your needs versus wants list, which means that we need to know your absolute needs. We need to know how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms. Does it have a basement? Does it have a garage? Does it need a basement? Does it need a garage? Will you be okay with electric cooking? Do you need a gas stove? These are key features that we need to know, but then we also need to know, and we need to separate what our wishes are, right? Like the in-ground pool, or maybe the master bath with the balcony and the beautiful views. These are all things that we can compromise on and try to offset to find what's best for you. So once we've come up with your needs versus wants list, then we start the home shopping process. Now there's a big secret about when you're going out and you're buying a house that you need to know, and I'm gonna let you guys in on it. Nobody's looking, right? Here's how it goes. You have to have the best poker face ever. When we're out looking at houses, we're not letting on that we like the house. The reason why is because that's gonna help hurt us when we go to negotiate. Now, I'm gonna prepare you. Right now we're in 2020 and we're shooting this guide. And I do have to tell you, the market is crazy, especially for buyers. Very competitive. There really is no negotiation. The question isn't how much can I get off the house? It's, Jeff, how much higher do I have to go? So keep that in mind and have the right expectation going out when you're going shopping. You need to know the market. You need to understand that. Your real estate professional is going to be able to educate you on this. So this is a huge, huge benefit for you when you link up with the right people, which is going to lead us into the great day. And I love this day. It's the day we all shake hands, slap hands, jump around, celebrate. My wife and I have our dance that we do. Well, it's the accepted offer stage. Woo, we did it. Somehow we found you a house, right? So guess what? Now it's critical time. This is what we always say. And I say this to every client. It's kind of another secret, but also well known. It is a sprint to contract and a marathon to close sometimes. So guess what? You need to do everything you need to do quickly, expeditiously, preferably within 48 hours. You want to be in front of your attorney, signing your contract and handing over your down payment check. Now, a lot of times on our team, especially in this current market, We don't even allow our attorneys to mail out those contracts and down payment check. We send one of our real estate professionals on our team, or us, or myself personally, to go pick up your contract, your down payment, and hand deliver it to the seller's attorney that day to save time. Sometimes this can make or break your deal, because as you're waiting to sign those contracts, or as you're waiting to do those items, there's a good chance that you could completely lose your deal because someone else is willing to pay more for that house. But let's back up a little bit, because we kind of jumped right over a step, didn't we? Which was home inspection, because that's a crucial part, right? So remember, that 24 hours to 48-hour window that we have to get to the attorney, we have to get a home inspector in that house to inspect that home, right? And again, these home inspectors are not necessarily negotiation tools. These are to make sure that you're making a sound investment. We are looking for major structural issues within the home that could deter you from buying it. We're not looking to nitpick the color of the paint, the carpet condition, or the floor condition. We're really looking at electrical, plumbing, roof, and really structural issues, heating systems. We're making sure that everything's in working order and we can move forward. It's a common mistake that people think that their home inspection is a great way to negotiate their offer that has been already accepted. This is not the case. So that leads us, after we've completed our home inspection, we found out your home inspection is good, there's nothing major wrong, we go now and we move to that contract phase, right? So now we've renegotiated if we had to, we've asked for this to be repaired or that to be repaired. Now we're sitting with our attorney. Now is when you're going to need to get a check, your check. You need checks. You need a check. You got to have a check, right? A lot of times nowadays people don't have checks. You can go to your bank, you can get cashier checks, you can get an official check. You can get some attorneys will allow you to wire money from your bank account into their escrow account to be delivered to the seller's attorney. But the best and the easiest way and the most preferred way by the bank is for you to have a check, because you are going to need a copy of not just the check that you sent and gave, but also the cleared check from the attorney once he's deposited into their escrow account. So these are some crazy terms. I know we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but that real estate agent that's walking you through this process is going to be able to explain this to you as it's happening very quickly. It's a lot scarier than it sounds. So after you've done and you've completed, you're signing your contract, providing your down payment check, now the next step is we're gonna come pick up that contract and we are going to hand deliver that to the seller's attorney. That's when the seller's gonna go in, they're gonna review, and they're gonna sign their side of the contract. After they sign their side of the contract, that's when you become fully executed. You now have a secure deal. Nobody can come and take it away from you. It's binded contract. You've put your money where your mouth is and you're ready to go forward. So let's get ready, and now let's go meet with our bank. Now it's time to sit down with your loan officer. That loan officer now is going to prepare a loan application you're going to sign. This is when you're also going to need to resupply and update the documents from that pre-approval process. It's a very quick process. It doesn't take long. It's about an hour's worth of your time. Nowadays, we do it all remotely, and you scan and you email your docs right to the loan officer through a secured portal. So once that's taken care of, now it's pretty much, you're going to work directly with that loan officer and that processor. Us real estate agents are kind of going to be sitting in the background making sure all the other things in the background that need to be done, such as the title, the survey, the appraisal. We're going to make sure that everything that needs to be nuts and bolts is done, while also always keeping you updated and in touch with you, at least on a twice-a-week basis, I find to be acceptable. So you've now a full contract, you've met with your bank, you're going over everything, you're ready to go, a loan application is done, you've paid for your appraisal, and now it's appraisal time. Whoa, let's back up. Did we go over the asking price? We did. This is where it needs to be we need to be very smart about when we put that offer in. We need to ensure that that appraisal is going to hit, because otherwise we could have done all this work for nothing. So that's where your professional realtor is going to make sure that your offer was good enough for what the comps were. If not, maybe you had to renegotiate terms and you had to do a couple other items to get your offer accepted. But nonetheless, your appraisal is going to get done, the value will come in at your loan amount, and you'll be able to then go to the bank and almost be ready to close. So while all this stuff is going through with the loan officer and the processor, the lawyer is going to come into play, and they're going to do what the title is. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. Title is to make sure that, one, there's no judgments, liens, or anything that's against you. So if you have any skeletons in the closet, make sure you have that conversation with that loan officer before it gets to this point. Because a lot of times we can resolve them prior to your home search. So it's very key for you to be upfront and honest with your loan officer and your realtor, because we're there to protect you. And we're there also to be that rock in that crazy rapids and all those rivers. We're the rock in those rapids for you to always grab onto and hold onto to make sure that when everybody else and everything else is flying around, we're there to be there to calm you down, make sure everything goes smoothly as best we can, and make sure that you end up a homeowner. That is the key. So guess what? We've done our appraisal now. We're good. Titles come back clean. Guess what step we're at? We're at step where they issue you your commitment. Now this is always the next best stage for us real estate agents and you soon to be homeowners, because it's one of the last steps before you get those keys, right? So the commitment sometimes will come back with conditions. A lot of times they're really easy conditions that need to be done, such as paying for your homeowner's insurance for the first year, maybe supplying some updated bank statements and maybe a pay stub. Then you're clear to close. So you're gonna sign your closing disclosure, which is going to have all your final numbers pretty close to what you're going to need at the closing table on the closing day. So any leftover out-of-pocket expenses are going to be told to you then, and the lawyers are going to work to fine-tune those numbers. But nonetheless, now you're only 3 days away, hopefully, from a closing. Because in New York State, we have what's called TRID law. So even if we got a clear to close today, we have to allow you 3 days to review those final numbers before you'll be able to close. Once you've had those 3 days, you can become a homeowner. So guess what? We've got our commitment, we've got our 3 days waiting. It's time for myself, the real estate agent, to get back in touch with you once again and say, hey, it's time to go do our final walkthrough. This is where we're gonna go and we're gonna make sure the house is in the same or better condition than it was when we first initially saw it, as well as at the time of the home inspection. So if any repairs were needed or anything like that, this is our opportunity to make sure that those repairs were done. Because in real estate, no matter what, unless you're getting a home warranty from maybe a new construction style home, or maybe a homeowner's offering a home warranty, this is your last time to make sure that everything is functional before, guess what? It's your problem. Because after we close, there's no going back to fixing and asking the homeowner to come back and fix it. It becomes your issues where you need to resolve it. So it's a very, very good idea at the home inspection for you to make sure that you visually inspect everything that you want to make sure and ensure that's working, such as the toilet, make sure it flushes, the stove, make sure all the burners work, the broiler, the bake works, make sure the microwave works, the ice maker, the water, everything, the heat. Depending on the time of year, you may have a pool. So if you're closing in December, it's not very easy to make sure that the pool is working. So you'll ask your attorney maybe to hold a small escrow, or for the seller to probably provide the closing documents from when the pool was closed. Or maybe the irrigation system, and it's December, we're closing again. You can't run the irrigation system. Again, you want to see receipts that it was winterized properly prior to the end of the season. Once we've gone through this house completely from top to bottom, I know personally when I'm there at a final walkthrough, we are testing everything. Everything we can possibly put our eyes on, we are trying to find anything that could come up. But again, us real estate agents are not licensed home inspectors. There are some inspectors that you can hire to come with you on your final walkthrough, and they will do a real quick run through of the house to ensure that everything works and you don't get a report, you get the visual inspection. There is a fee associated with that, but it is also a good way to make sure that the house is in good working order. And last but not least, finally, we get to the closing table. Let's think about this. It's the day of you becoming a homeowner. Probably for the first time of your life, maybe for the second or the third, but anyway, it's a day to celebrate. But I have to encourage you to stay calm, don't celebrate too early, make sure you're got a clear head and you're ready to pay attention, and get ready, because your hand by the end of it is gonna hurt, because you're gonna sign 3 of everything over and over again. So we are at the end now, and now you have successfully become a homeowner. There's just a couple more things that you want to keep in mind, right? After you close on the house, you want to do a few things, such as apply for your STAR. Make sure that you set up your forwarding address to your new property so your mail doesn't get lost. Make sure you start to change everything. Go to DMV, request a license change. Make sure you update your homeowner's insurance your auto insurance, so that this way you can possibly save some money depending on where you're moving from. So these are all just a couple of little hints, but your real estate professional should be able to provide you with a post-closing guide as to what to expect and what to do. Make sure, the biggest thing is, make sure to ask the seller when the garbage goes out. But I want to thank you all for being a part of this. I can't wait to join you on your home search and your process. The Jimenez team is here always to guide you through step by step and to hold your hand through the entire process. Was this video helpful? Do you want to hear more? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.